because it's a bigger system than you're dealing with. But most of you are stuck in a sidereal system, and you're stuck in a physical. And Bob and I are saying, look, get to the mental, the metaphysical, but then let's go all the way up to the spiritual, and let's go to the highest heights. Let's go to that exalted, ecstatic state of being where there's no lack. Everyone say no lack. And there's fundamental plenty. Everyone say fundamental plenty.
The reason that a lot of us don't believe these kinds of things is because we've been raised in a world that does not believe what we've been saying to you.
Because scarcity looks like it exists.
We live in a very skeptical world. I mean, they even think about, when you even say the word tithing, they almost say, oh, some rich, greedy preacher's going to get that, you know? And so immediately with that image in their mind, they just shut it off. So I'm not going to give. Well, you don't have to give it to some rich, greedy preacher. Who do you want to give it to? And more importantly, when you let that ponder in your heart and you say, higher power, this is your money. Where do you want me to give it as quickly as possible? And thoughts will come to your mind. You will find yourself just almost effortlessly and magically finding people that you need to give it to. People that need it more than you do. People who you were destined to give it to. There's a scripture in the Bible that talks about that when you pay your tithing, that the windows of heaven will be opened to you. And I didn't really ever understand that much, because I went, how does higher power open these windows? I don't see any windows. Where are the windows of heaven?
Where are the windows, Bob?
And then I read a book, Spiritual Economics, I think is what it's called. And he
Dr. Eric.
Yeah, there was Eric. He said, you are the windows of heaven.
Everyone say, I'm the windows of heaven. I'm opening my windows, everybody. I know that some of you say that's pretty evangelical, but if I wasn't doing this, I'd probably be doing that. So, you know.
In other words, you become who higher power opens the windows through. You say, I am your window.
Everyone say, I am your window.
I'm your window. So where do you want me to open to?
This is a paradigm shift, so we get your feet and hands going in the same direction, which is the way universe goes. Most of us are counterpulsative rather than the way we should be. We've got to move forward a little bit.
So we want to create some success stories. Oh, by the way, there's a friend of ours. Who wants to be an enlightened millionaire, I guess is what we want to talk about. Who wants to be a millionaire? Who wants to be an enlightened millionaire? See, raise hands on that one.
Say, I do.
Is that your final answer? Yeah. Okay. Now here's what $1 million bill looks like. And you know, when you've seen this, actually you've seen some of these bills before. They look very real. They look like a $1 million bill, doesn't it? See it up there? It looks pretty real, doesn't it? Yeah. Now
you print them in your garage.
the $1 million that the millionaire in that old television show used to give, and they would show up at somebody's doorstep and they would go, here is $1 million, as if the power was in the money. No, the power isn't in the money. Because once they've spent that $1 million, what do they have? They didn't know how they made it. No, when Mark and I show up at the doorstep, and we really do see ourselves doing this on our show, ding dong, we're going to give you a fake $1 million so you can look kind of what one looks like. And then when we come into your house and we sit in your couch right there in the living room, we're going to show you how the money has always been within 6 feet of you.
Let me just give one quick
life.
example. I met the dentist who took a little piece of string. All of you have had a piece of string. Turned it into a thing called dental floss. He has so far outsourced it. Everyone say outsourced it?
Outsourced.
Because you got to learn how to outsource. That's one of the things we're going to teach, because you're not here to do the work. You're here to do the thinking. Point at your table, say the thinking.
The thinking.
This is why Napoleon Hill, who we're standing on Knapp's shoulders, Dr. Hill's shoulders, because it's think and grow. Don't think, stay stupid and poor and unhealthy. We want you to think, grow rich, be healthy, happy, fulfilled, generous, contributing. One little piece of string, he told me he made $2 billion.
On a piece of string?
On a piece of string. Everyone say, I can do this. Because the future of the world depends on who? Everyone say me. The whole world's depending on your knowledge working, coming up to new heights, and Bob and I are asking you to go to a new level.
Well, a level of newness. Well, no, really, it's right here in this room, too. When you think about it, everything you see in this room, besides us, everything we're wearing, everything on the walls, every physical thing you see in this room made somebody millions of dollars. Everything you see. The clothes you're wearing, shoes, necklace there, your glasses. Every single thing you can see right now made somebody millions of dollars. What happens when you decide that you could take something you can see right now with your own eyes, sitting in your own living room, and you make the decision, well, how could I take that and make it better? Every single object you touch for the rest of your life is $1 million seed. Some of them you were destined to change. Higher power said, that's your idea. And other ideas will come to you and you'll go, no, that's not mine, that's not mine, that's not mine, that's mine, that's mine. Oh, but that one's mine. And something will feel right and you'll say, yeah, that was mine. And if each of us did that, you would get the thing you were destined to do. And we would all be blessed by it. You would get the thing you were destined to do, and we would all be blessed by it. You would get the thing you were destined to do, and we would all be blessed by it. Most of us don't listen, and we don't believe that we were destined to become billionaires. Forget about the $1 million number. We could all destined to become billionaires if we just plant the right kinds of seeds. Back to you. Give me. Oh, that's right. Besides that, I want to know how many of you want a $1 million bill. So, okay, come and get a million. Let's give these away. These are just pieces of paper. But I want you to let's take these $1 million and let's turn them into billions. All right. Yours out. Get yours out. So they'll be. Mark's got some too, you know. So the book we've written about that is called Cracking the Millionaire Code. Your key to enlightened wealth. Each of you has a different key. Each of your codes are different. Everyone sitting next to you has 4 different codes. But as you crack all of those 4 of those codes, you step into a life of absolute abundance. On February 23rd, 2005, we gathered a group of 153 people, and we launched the first Cracking the Millionaire Code. How many of you were there at that event?
Stand up.
Yeah,
give them a round of applause.
If you were there, stand up.
Come out.
Give them a hand. We knew that we needed 101 days, and 101 days ends on June the 3rd. On June the 3rd is the day when the whole event kind of comes to a close. So we started as a group of people, and there was 158 of us. So not all of us made it into that exact picture, but there's Mark and I and Pat Burns down at the bottom, and here's a group of people in the background. And we said to all of them, we wanted to circle every face so that as each person achieved their own personal cracking of millionaire code, we would put a circle around their face. I wonder if it's been about 50 days now since we taught this. Has any one of those people have a circle around their face having achieved $1 million in net profit in 50 days, starting from the day we were together? Well, don't be too excited about not everybody. There is just a tiny number. But remember, we're on our way with them. If you go to the Millionaire Hall of Fame, you'll be able to see their names and what they've been able to accomplish. It's all posted up there because they post their own stories. We've already generated over $1 million. And as we look around this, we start to see the faces we've now gone to circle. And what our goal is that by the June the 3rd, almost every one of those faces is going to be circled with some profit, some money they've made, 10,000, 15,000, 75, 100, 200, 300, 500, maybe even $1 million. Is it possible that one of them, 2 of them, maybe a handful of them, could actually in 101 days make a net million? Is that possible?
Neil Cavuto wants you on his show with us, and Neil wants to air you, and he wants to air you 18 times. So some of you that will make the money will get to tell your story. I mean, we got 115 people that have made $1 million with us in the last 2 years, brand new. But are the rest of you able to do it in a very short time? The answer is?
Yeah.
Now, the belief has got to be up to you, because we already believe for you, so now all you got to do is energize. Everyone say, I got to energize it.
Got to energize.
Because this is a global operation. You just happen to be at our local operation here in Anaheim tonight. But we are operative globally, and a lot of you are going to be meeting and befriending people in Spain and Guatemala and Malaysia and Singapore and Japan and places that you've not been yet, and Nigeria, and a chief from Mozambique was in our seminar this weekend, and he wants to take all of you to places, the 76 countries in Africa, because I'll be touring very shortly with Nelson Mandela. We'll have 500,000 per seminar that are going to participate with us, and we're going to turn around Africa before most Americans are awake to what we're doing.
We want to play Monopoly with real money. How many want to play with Monopoly with real money, not just as a game, but an enlightened game? What we've now started to acquire are some of the people who have achieved their enlightened status. And we're not saying that every person who's ever made $1 amongst our groups has done it in a totally enlightened way. I'm sure there have been all kinds of ways that we make our funds, but we're trying to attract 101 enlightened millionaires to take with us to New York City on the 3rd of June. To launch with us this brand new book, Cracking the Millionaire Code. If you have achieved $1 million status, we want to invite you to what we call the Millionaire Summit. This 4-day event, there's no tuition for it. There's no charge. Obviously, you'll get yourself there and pay the hotels, etc., but we want to gather 101 of our best enlightened millionaires there who can prove you have a net worth of that. If you're part of our students, there's no charge for you.
And that's what we're doing. We're inviting you to take a tour with us. We're going to walk you through the BEA, Book Expo of America, 60,000 authors.
Before we go there, we'll probably go to Random House. This is what Random House's lobby looks like.
Owned by Bertelsmann, which is the biggest company in the book business in the world, and they own the biggest book company in America called Random House. That's me standing at the counter. But by the way, let me tell you why they do this. Just one more thing. They do full security on Bob and I whenever we come in, so if you're with us, you'll get full security. Because the first time we came in with butterflies. And what happened is we released the butterflies, right? We had them in dry ice, and we released them, and they fly around. And people were diving under the table going, they're from California, bugs, you know. So the
true, we did this. We actually did release real live butterflies at our publisher's main boardroom. Real butterflies. Have you ever done that before? Oh, it's amazing.
Remember, you're here to have fun. What are you here to have? Woo!
On Sunday, we're going to teach you the 4 codes you have to crack. You have to crack your destiny code. You have to crack what we call the PRISM code. It's creating a product, a service, information, a media event, something that spells that word PRISM. It's an acronym. A prism that has the light of higher powered flowing through you, refracting into multiple streams of magnificent income for you. That's the PRISM code. The STAR code and the ANGEL code are the 2 other codes. The ANGEL code is how do you attract people to help you? People that are destined to help you, and you destined to help them. How do you attract people in a way that you can trust them? And then how do you find what we call the stars that are out there? There are so many customers that are waiting for your help. And if you treat them like stars, they'll keep bringing their friends back and back and back. If you could just take a customer and love them in such a way that they really appreciated what you did for them and invited just one other person to come into the company that you have, just one customer per year. If every one of your customers did that, it would double your business every single year. You know how long it would take you for a doubling business every year for you to become a billionaire? If you'll just crack this STAR code, I promise you, the billions will flow into your life. $1 billion have flowed into our life. The billions have flowed in for the businesses that we have created. It's not net income, but it's certainly gross income. And those billions of dollars are going to flow into yours too. Best. We want to show, when you get the book, we're going to show you how to enter the Millionaire Code Vault. The vault, every one of us has a vault. You all have one. Everybody does. You have multi-million dollars worth of fortune just waiting for you if you learn how to crack your own codes. And this is going to be a similar, like what the beginning of our website is going to be about, kind of like something like that. And would you like to come inside our vault? Yeah. Well, you want to come inside and wander around in our vault and then wander around your own, yeah? The first thing we do in 1 Minute Millionaire, it says, you write down, I'm so happy I'm on schedule to be a millionaire. If you've never written it, write it now. Sign it and get your neighbor to sign it. I'm so happy I'm on schedule to be a millionaire, and put a time. I'm so happy, and that includes the kids in here. I'm so happy I'm on schedule to be a millionaire, because the minute you make the decision and consciousness goes into your subconscious makes a provision.
You say, well, I want to be stupid and broke my whole life. You'll stay stupid and broke. It's just not a good affirmation. It's counterproductive.
Now, here was a survey that just came out this last 2 weeks ago from the Gallup poll. It asked the question, how many of you want to become or have your own business? And looking at the numbers here, find that if you're 18 to 29 years old, 72% of our young people want to be in their own business. The older you get, obviously, it seems like the numbers go down by age. March 18th, 19 to 20. I mean, most people in America want to have their own business. Now, here's what the percentages are. Of all Americans, 57% of all Americans, 90% of whom do work at a job. Most people work at a job, but the vast majority of Americans, North Americans, want to be their own boss. Those who are employed, 61% of them don't want to work for anybody else. They want to have their own job. And they are going to float around this world, and they're going to come up with an idea like you're going to come up with, and they're going to say, I'm going to start a business. And what's the probability that the person who starts that business today, and we were talking about this on Wednesday night, starts that business today, by this time next year, how many of those people who launched today will be still in business? Half of them will be gone. But 5 years, 95% of them will be gone. Most of them will fail. They're going to fail their way. As if you're an entrepreneur or a serial entrepreneur,
we want you to be a serious entrepreneur and have a real MBA, which means not an MBA like he's got, which is a Master of Business Administration, but a millionaire's bank account. Everyone say, I'm ready.
Yeah, bank account. So what we're trying to teach you today is that if you're going to just do it in a normal, ordinary way, the odds are 95% against you for you to just launch a business in a normal, ordinary way. We spent a lot of time with Ken Purdy privately yesterday, and he brought up a thought that I keep forgetting, frankly. He said, if you're going to make it in real estate, guess what do you have to figure out in real estate to really make it work? Frankly, if you're buying and selling property that's already developed, somebody owned it, got in trouble and had to sell it, there's really only about one thing you need to figure out, how to find that highly motivated seller and then buy it. It's just one thing you got to do. If you want to launch a business, though, you have to have about 6 or 7 things to do in order to make it work. Just think about the things you have to make it work. You got an idea in your head, that's one thing. What else do you have to do to get that idea to actually produce money for you? Got to have a plan. All right, what else got to come? Come on, give me some more. Got a team of people. Got to have employees. Yep, what else? Got to do some marketing. Got to write marketing pieces and advertising. Yep, what else?
Some money.
I got to get some money. Got to finance it. I got to manufacture the darn thing. Whatever is it? It's an idea, a service, a product, whatever. And then I've got to service the customers. I got to take care of them. I mean, there are a lot of things that have to be done in order for you to be successful in business, where there's a very few things that need to be done in order for you to be successful in real estate. But real estate is just one of our streams of income. You should have real estate and a business and the stock market and a whole bunch of other things. But when it comes to business, some of us have businesses. How many of you have a business where you're marketing a service or an idea or a product right now? Let me see you raise your hands on that. See, look at these entrepreneurs. Lots of you. What we're trying to do in Cracking the Man-Hour Code is to show you that in order for it to be successful, to get through all the problems of making this business work, because we all want to make our businesses work, you're going to have to learn how to crack the code. And so cracking the wealth code is about cracking these